So last question, right? Yeah. So let's say you're about to get off this interview, right? You're going to get on a plane. You're going to come to Washington because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are like, you know what? We've been doing all these things. But the one group that we haven't talked to yet is the Indian Americans. We need somebody to come in here and tell us what the Indian American community needs for us right now at the beginning of our presidency. What do you tell them?
I would say, I mean, we've been fairly blessed as an ethnic group that's been here for roughly, let's say 60 years, 60, 70 years, like the first wave of Indian immigration. We've had opportunities. A lot of the first generation, when they came over with money already, and they were able to, establish businesses, and then businesses that became generational, and then a lot of them came to practice medicine. And, I think we've been afforded a lot of opportunity just because of the success. Again, it's a monetary thing, right? The success of our parents, we've had the opportunity to pursue our dreams. A lot of us have. But I think the one thing would be to, just an acknowledgement that racism exists at all levels, right? Across ethnic groups. Prejudice runs across, whatever your gender identity is, whatever your sexual identity is, like that kind of prejudice and racism is there. And even for successful Indians, like for instance, after 9/11, I would get stopped every time I would get on an airplane without fail. And I'm like I don't wear a turban, which, and turban wearers aren't Middle Eastern either, but that's another thing for another day. And, I'd get frisked, I'd get searched, my bags would get searched. And that was for, I would say, up until you and I met and Julie and I went to Los Angeles. It was like after that it sort of died down, but that was, 6-7 years after the fact. So that, that sort of, that message, or like when I came back from India once, at O'Hare, there's a line for citizens and there's the line for visitors. So I get in the citizens line and I put my passport down, and the guy doesn't look at my passport. He's just looking at me, the immigration or the customs agent. And he goes, what's the purpose of your visit? And I look at him and I look at the sign, make sure I'm in the right line. And I just go, I had to come home. Right. And then he looks at my passport and he's like, it's like it dawned on him that he had made this assumption that just because I'm a person of color and that I'm, say, not Black or Latinx, right? That they're what, right. Why are you here? And so I think that's what I would ask from the two of them is just this recognition of us as not just this sort of well-to-do group, but a very diverse group of people at this point that have been here now for going on third generation, right? My daughter's third generation. And so, just this, broad acknowledgement of us as people that should be at the table when we're talking about all this stuff.
I couldn't agree more. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I've gone through customs lit as 12 Christmas trees and they waved me right through because I'm Pablo Manriquez and they don't even look, you know what I mean? Right. So I just want to say, Krishna, thank you so much for coming on. Come back whenever you want. You got a story to tell. Definitely let us know.
I'd love to. Thank you for having me.
No, of course. My pleasure. And viewer, you can find Krishna's Twitter handle right here in the description of this video. And please like and subscribe. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching Meet La Prensa. And that's a wrap.